Yo, have you heard about Anchor? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast, Dragon Ball Edition. Today, we are going to be going over Dragonball Super Manga Chapter 74, titled Vegeta vs. Granolah. And we have our Dragon Ball expert with us, Mitchell Oso. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing well, sir. Ready to jump in this chapter whenever you are. But how are you doing today?
I am doing good, man. This was a big chapter. I know last time we spoke last month, I was nervous for this chapter because I thought this was going to be Vegeta's end, and that was far from the truth.
Yep. Well, let's dive into it and get a little nitpicky and start talking about what we like. And I'll do the summary this go around. I think my computer can support me this go around, unlike last month. So chapter starts off, and we're looking at the Ceruleans. They're evacuating their city because of the the fighting going on involving Granolah, and that's just the first panel. But it shows Vegeta and Granolah, and they're talking, of course. And Vegeta mentions to Granolah tricks like fusion and clones won't work against him because of the forced spirit fission that Vegeta learned in the previous arc. Granolah says he doesn't need it. He was only using that clone to save his energy against Frieza. And Vegeta remarks that the Saiyans are not part of Frieza's army. They haven't been with him in a long time. Essentially, that they're enemies. Granolah doesn't believe him, even though Oatmeal, and as for a refresher for anyone else, Oatmeal is Granolah's assistant or partner. We've never seen Oatmeal actually in character, but Oatmeal's always talking in his earpiece. And Granolah, after Vegeta admits that he's not part of Frieza's crew anymore, mocks Vegeta, saying that he, is throwing his boss under the bus and they're pathetic and blah, blah, blah. Oatmeal says the other Saiyan said that they weren't evil either. Could that be the case? Granolah says they're just trying to save their own ass. So there's that. Vegeta brushes off his remarks, telling him to think whatever he'd like, but he was a kid whenever the Saiyans invaded the planet. He had nothing to do with it. Granolah doesn't care. He's going to kill all the Saiyans that he can. And Vegeta says that that's what he would expect, and he's not going to hold back. Instantly, powers up and unleashes a attack on Granolah. He attacks the ground and just explodes the area all around Granolah. Pretty big attack, and a shockwave can be seen from miles away. Ceruleans running away. Their cars get shook, even though they're even further away than the other panels. And Granolah flies up behind Vegeta, makes the remark that his power is lacking, so he must make up with it in quantity. Interesting verbiage there. And Granolah says, let me demonstrate the power gap between them. And Granolah picks up Earth behind Vegeta and explodes it. And this blast throws Vegeta towards Granolah, and then Granolah just winds up a punch and punches Vegeta right in its gut. It's actually pretty sweet. Um, Vegeta stands there, quickly composes himself, and then tries to blast Granolah with a shot or an energy blast. Granolah jumps out of the way. Vegeta takes flight, and they're fighting in midair. Granolah is dodging some attacks, kicks Vegeta into a river. Um, pretty cool artwork that we got here, and they keep fighting. They keep duking it out, and Vegeta's kind of like Vegeta has his back against the wall. He's not really doing anything extravagant. He's just basically blocking and trying to survive. But he gets punched in the face, gets launched down the river, and Granolah then proceeds to try to blast him with a whole bunch of key attacks. Misses Vegeta every time, and Vegeta is underwater and he escapes the river just for a short amount of time because it turns into a waterfall. Vegeta gets it back into the river and he zips on down the river. But Granolah thinks that Vegeta is at the base of the river, so he's just blasting away at the wrong spot. And then he realizes that Vegeta got away, and using his eye that he has, that mechanical eye that he has, him and Oatmeal offers an aim assist on this, sniper shot that Granolah is going to do. And it's actually kind of a cool technique. Granolah has his right hand out, pointed kind of like he has his finger shaped like a gun, and then his left hand is behind his head, also in shape of a gun, but it's kind of like if you were pulling back like a bow and arrow. It's kind of what it looks like. And then right when Vegeta gets right up close to a lake, Granolah lets off the shot, and it hits Vegeta right in the chest, but Vegeta had turned to block it. And the explosion goes off, and Vegeta was able to successfully block it. Granolah is surprised that Vegeta's not dead. He makes a remark that Saiyans are stronger than he expected, just as he said with Goku. And Vegeta taunts him, saying, "You still sound awfully high and mighty about it." And he says, "Why wouldn't I? He's the strongest in the universe." And then Granolah mocks Vegeta, saying that the struggle is pointless. And Vegeta looks at him and says, "I admit that at the moment, Granolah surpasses him, but he's still going to win." Not understanding why, Granolah says, I don't understand. I don't follow. You're really arrogant." And then Vegeta says, "Let's just keep fighting then." So the panels then go to Goku, who regains consciousness. And when he regains consciousness, he realizes how much in pain he was from Granolah's chest shot. And he sits up, and he sees Goku or Vegeta and Granolah flying around, fighting still. And Granolah still was kicking Vegeta around and whatnot. Vegeta tries to blast him. It doesn't really do anything. And he does send one blast that kind of pisses Granolah off. And then he tries to get behind Granolah. And Granolah sees that Vegeta is trying to sneak up behind him, turns his hand around, and tries to blast him. And Vegeta dodges. And this is important because this is not just a normal dodge that he's trying to do. He's actually doing this. Okay, everyone's trying to dodge punches on purpose, but he has a plan with this. As we see the blast go past Vegeta, we find out that Vegeta purposefully positioned himself so that when the blast was missed, it would blow up the ruins of Granolah's history of his people, the one that the Saiyans blew up. So then, the entire ruins of the village decimated. Vegeta mocks him like, "Oh, you're fine with blowing up what's left of your city, all of those precious memories." And Granolah gets pissed, and Vegeta remarks that, "I can tell that you just got your power And Granola's like, how do you know that? And Vegeta just simply says, well, thanks for confirming what I thought. You're not used to your power. You're lacking experience. And Vegeta dashes right towards Granolah, and Granolah tries to punch. Vegeta dodges, and um, Vegeta asks, what have you been doing with this power? Have you done any training? And Granolah just blows him off, saying there's no need. Witness my power. And yeah. And then Vegeta, he gets kicked by Granolah right in the gut. And he says, do I need to repeat myself? You may be stronger, but that's no guarantee that he'll lose to him. And what he does is he grabs Granola's leg and he tries to break his leg with an elbow right on down. And it doesn't appear that it hurt, but it doesn't appear to actually have broken his leg. So, oh well, nice try. And they go back to the ground, and Granolah is stating that he's going to win because of all his power, kind of same old. And Vegeta starts opening up about some stuff, and he says he's talking about battles, and the outcome is never quite set in stone. It's all about, and he loves fighting, and they keep going, they keep fighting again, but Vegeta's still talking, and he says, "Here's another tidbit, right? Strongest, second strongest rankings are all well and good, but they only reflect a moment in time. Once that moment has passed by, it's nothing but history. For me, for instance, I'm already stronger than I was a few minutes ago." So Vegeta makes a good point. You can't look at what someone did in the past or what they might do in the future. It's all about in the present whenever you're fighting. Vegeta says that he's grown more and more powerful throughout the fight of theirs, and Granolah makes the remark that then he's just going to finish him off. And Granolah does attack where he keeps his hands stiff and his fingers out. He's trying to, pierce like Vegeta, but Vegeta catches his arm in the middle of the attack to try to prevent it, and its fingertips just hit the armor that Vegeta is wearing and cracks it, makes a dent in it. But it's powerful enough to cause Vegeta to fall out of his transformation and spit up blood. And as we're sitting here, Vegeta's looking down and he starts laughing. And he makes a remark that, what fun, this feeling that he's having, it's been ages since he last experienced it. There's no planet to protect, no people to save, just himself immersed in battle. His happy place. Granola's just kind of shocked by this, and Vegeta then says, just a thing to get a battle-crazed Saiyan's blood pumping. So Vegeta's going nuts right now, and it's only about to just get more crazy. Granolah, instantly knowing that something is not good, takes a step back away from Vegeta, and then all of a sudden, Vegeta he's just powering up. He is doing things that we have never seen. He has an aura around him that looks like flames, a power key, and it's just, it throws Granolah back. And the scene is it's kind of surreal what we're looking at here. But Oil, and again, Oil was the guy from the Heeters crew, the big tub of lard guy. He's like, my gosh, they're taking the battle all around the map. And then it goes back to Goku, who is looking in the direction of where they're fighting, and they're beyond a mountain far away from Goku. And Goku makes the remark that Vegeta's ki just changed, and it feels like God ki, but not just any old God ki. Then it goes back to Vegeta, and you just gotta see this this drawing of Vegeta's transformation here, of what's going on. Granola's on the ground, just kind of in shock, and just these flames are just engulfing this huge power scaling that's occurring. And Granolah, sensing danger, just starts blasting ki blasts into where Vegeta is. and it does absolutely nothing. And then all of a sudden, the flames subside, and we see Vegeta now. He all the blood that he had, all the scratches around his face have disappeared. He gets his hair is it's stiff black, very slick, and his eyes change and his eyebrows change, kind of to mimic the Super Saiyan 3 look of Goku. And he's just ripped now, and he still has these flames circling his body. And he says to Granolah, "A God of Destruction taught me that power derived solely from instinct is unbounded." And that is that's where the chapter ends. And now, for note, the next chapter is going to come out August 18th. So not the typical 20th, but the 18th, for us to see what this new form, this new God of Destruction Vegeta form that some people are calling this, and what is about to happen. So, Martin, where do you want to start?
I guess with just to work our way, because we don't officially know the name of Vegeta's new form yet. I know that they'll probably have some God of Destruction, because we're assuming it's God of Destruction Key, as Goku alluded to, but we have no official name yet, and we'll probably get that from them soon. If people remember in Super, when Vegeta went Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, people were calling it random names, and then they came out with the official name. But Mitch, I want to start, I guess, with the beginning mid part of the fight. I don't know about you, but also just want to make sure we clarify, when Vegeta transformed, I'm assuming he went Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, or manga perfected Super Saiyan Blue. This kind of a little bit reminded me of Vegeta versus Jiren the first time, because honestly, I have no idea how Vegeta was not one-shotted against the full power like Granolah when he was able to take out MUI Goku. And MUI Goku is stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. Did that bring it to, did you think of that at all a little bit?
Nah, I didn't think about it too much. It was just I just thought, yeah, Vegeta would have to. There's no point in Vegeta not going 100%. At the time of reading that. So I mean, he had to go Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, because there's no point in doing anything else. Because as we've seen, MUI, it's the best transformation out there. Now we'll see about that, but I just thought that he needed to do that.
Yeah, so that was just one of the things. And honestly, when they were like fighting, and Vegeta and Granolah was having the better of him throughout the fight, but Vegeta, man, I felt like he was very tactical. I really thought that, like, the Goku Jiren fight where he got to watch, I feel like he benefited from watching Goku and Granolah, because he was able to know about like Granolah's pressure point stuff and like some of his, I don't want to say weaknesses, because Vegeta investigated that city first. So he was able to use that to his advantage. And when Granolah shot that city, I feel like that made Granolah more irrational, because he's portrayed as a rational fighter, but now he's irrational, which leads to mistakes. So I think that was really cool and smart on Vegeta's part. That goes
to what Vegeta was alluding to, that he doesn't have experience. He's not battle hardened, because they, like Goku and Vegeta, they could probably get past like a situation like that. Because I mean, when now the thing is that Vegeta doing that could have risked Granolah actually kind of flipping shit, because Saiyans have had histories of bad stuff happening to people that maybe they care about or whatnot, and then all of a sudden they go Super Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Goku did it when Krillin died. Broly did it whenever when Paragus got killed in the movie, and it's not turned out good for the antagonist. So Vegeta just basically got lucky that he allowed Granolah to blow up his home, but I mean, I don't know if I would have, but allowed that to happen because I don't know that. You don't know this guy. Goku and Vegeta have known Granolah for 20 minutes, so it's like that's pretty ballsy for someone who's battle hardened. But on the flip side, it worked out in his favor. He got kind of pissed off. Probably wasn't all that wasn't as efficient with his fighting, and Vegeta just pointed that out. So yeah, it was kind of funny.
I think also too with Vegeta, what you brought up about him like saying you just learned how to use this power, and he's like, "How do you know?" And Vegeta's like, "Well, thanks for confirming." My thing also with that page is like, did he beat Goku that bad that Goku didn't realize that this guy just learned how to use his powers, or is like doesn't know how to use them yet? Because Vegeta realizing it in like their first encounter, and Goku, I mean, got a couple rounds in with them. So it's like, why didn't Goku realize that?
Well, Goku did make the remark, if I remember, whenever before or like right at the moment when we found out it was a clone, and he's like, "Why don't you train?" or something like that. So maybe Goku had an idea, but just Goku's not. Vegeta says that to piss him off, because Vegeta likes to get under your skin mentally, and Vegeta's a troll, but Goku's not just trying to piss. He's just not into. He's not the character to just piss you off. So,
well, to push back on that though, they both. I mean, Goku. They realized that when they fought against Frieza in the movie, that Frieza rushed there without training with his form, and Goku was the one who said it first and realized it. And that's when Vegeta wanted to jump in, but Goku's like, "No, you just want to jump in because Frieza's weakness now." So he has done it recently.
Well, Frieza is a jerk. They had history with Frieza, so maybe Goku even said, "I don't care. I hate this guy. Screw him. I'm gonna piss him off." But no, you make a good point there. They did have to say the same thing for Frieza.
And I guess Vegeta also said that. I don't know if he kind of said similar lines too when he fought against Broly, because he was just like, he's like still learning, like he's learning how to use his speed and power and all that. And
he's learning as he fights.
Yeah, which is very dangerous with him. But no, like seeing Vegeta, I mean, giving he gave some pretty good lines, especially about what we talked about, I think months ago. It's on page 36 to 37. About the rankings are all good, but they reflect a moment in time. And once that moment passed, those rankings are nothing but history. So like, I really like that, because we talked about this, like when he wished to be the strongest, is he always going to be like the strongest no matter what anyone gets? Or is he whoever the strongest people were at that time of the wish, he's stronger than them? But those people kept training, and in this case, Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah. Yep, I'm in agreement with that. It was Vegeta had some really good dialogue. What I like about that line, and I hope this gets to the community or just Dragon Ball fans in general, and that is that line needs to be understood regarding all past villains. Because everyone thinks that if Cell came around, for example, he would get stomped, and it would be no contest. But the thing is that like you have to remember, like that's what their strength was when we saw them last. If these people like Frieza, for example, Frieza came back after being revived, he trained for a short amount of time, and he covered the gap between
4 months
when he could only compete against a Super Saiyan 1 all the way up until a Super Saiyan Blue. So it's like, so when some people are like, when we discuss, can they bring back an old villain again? And then some people are like, no, because they would get stomped before even the title of the chapter came out. No. Vegeta even makes a remark here that, you can be strong then, but it's all about right now. So I liked it. I hope that that's something to come in the future in terms of maybe seeing some other enemies come back. Because I don't mind like an enemy coming back if it's done properly. So we'll see.
Mitch, hold that thought on the enemy coming back. We're gonna hit that actually after we're done reviewing this chapter.
Okay.
And then you go to, I think, 39 through the rest of the chapters when you get the great pictures. I mean, when Vegeta's saying the what fun, and like you get that, it's on page 41 to 40, with Vegeta saying that's the thing that gets a battle crazed Saiyan's blood pumping. That picture is super menacing. And I really hope that, I know it's sacrilegious, when eventually Super gets animated, they can get the rules like Z did and have some blood, because that picture is not going to look the same without any blood.
No, it needs the blood to make that scene. Because I mean, they put so much detail in Vegeta, like the blood coming out of the mouth, as you said, the veins popping out of his on his forehead, on his cheek, and then his eyes. Like they add blood vessels in his eyes. It's not just the white circles of everyone's eyes. He has shadowing around his eyes. I mean, this is demonic borderline. That's awesome.
That was a good thing too, because Vegeta's line too that really got me too at the top was like, "There's no planet to protect, no people to save, and like it's just them in battle." And when he said it's been a long time, I'm gonna speak for Vegeta. I think he's referring to the last time he got a fight like that was him versus Goku in the Buu saga, when it was just the two of them. Nothing else mattered until Buu got hatched. Because right now, I mean, he's right. These guys he's been fighting either to protect the planet or save people since really the Buu saga. I mean, you could say Cell, he was still a little on the super arrogant side till Cell blasted Trunks. Then that's when the change happened. But like, because they've been protecting the planet, so they've always had to hold back people in the vicinity, moving places, always having to think about the people or some sort of that. So right now, like when you just know you just have to beat the guy and like you just fight and there's no like real consequences. I mean, that's been like an uplifting thing for him. And you said the demonic thing, which made me think about like him going back to the Majin Vegeta stage. But I mean, the thing that everyone wants to hear our thoughts on, because it was leaked a couple days ago. No one wanted to be the person to confirm if it was real or fake, because if you give fake stuff out in the Dragon Ball community, you are going to get roasted for a long time. And It was Vegeta's transformation. And the only reason I bring up the Vegeta versus Jiren thing is like Granolah, when Vegeta starts transforming or talking like that, he's like, "Oh my gosh, what's happening?" But you just see a humanoid angel in Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, and you're just like, whatever. Just reminding me when Jiren blocked Vegeta's final flash, but just stood there against a freaking spirit bomb. Made no sense. But anyway, man, like you said, with the aura, like the drawings, the transformation's real, man. Like, what are your thoughts on this transformation and what it looks like? And it's Dragon Ball power scaling wise. We haven't seen what it can do yet, but what are you thinking about this?
So a couple things. The first thing we'll talk about is visuals. Overall, I'm giving it like an 8 or 9 out of 10 just on visualization. Vegeta's muscles are defined, toned. He looks badass. He looks very strong. His aura, which are flames all around him, freaking sweet. I don't know how I feel that he has no eyebrows. That he looks like Super Saiyan 3. That's my only. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I don't have like, but I mean, it is literally his Super Saiyan 3 look.
Yeah.
So I mean,
making up for lost time.
Yeah, just you got to remove somebody's eyebrows, I guess. But yeah, visually looks sweet. The next thing, I wasn't actually trying to think of like power scaling in terms of like where he stands, because I mean, I don't know if this changes the pecking order, because I would still think MUI is stronger or like better to have once fully completely mastered. But on the flip side, this could just have its own techniques and special abilities that we'll see. But we just need the next chapter to discuss that. But the third thing that I was really trying to think of is, how did Vegeta get to this point? So, because we know we saw him training with Beerus, but there was no. We didn't know that he was actually going to have another transformation. We just thought he learned how to Hakai, and but so I'm cool with that. But what I was trying to think of is, why was Vegeta getting stronger as the fight was progressing? You know, and the things that I was noticing, I mean, Vegeta's getting his ass kicked, is what I'm going to describe it as.
Mm-hmm.
And he almost gets destroyed whenever he gets hit in the stomach there, even though he tried to dodge it, and then he fell out of his transformation. And then after that moment of almost being destroyed, then he transforms into, as we'll just say for this podcast or tonight, is that he's God of Destruction Vegeta. And I'm like, this is familiar. This is somewhat familiar, and then it dawned on me that this is similar then to what happened to Topo in the anime, because Topo was fighting Android 17, big ass blast beam struggle that they had. Frieza came up behind Topo, completely rocked his world, and then he got rocked back again by 17's blast, since he couldn't hold it back. And Granolah or Topo was just, he was just sitting there in the middle of the ring, borderline almost dead, to the point where Krillin and the others, I think even Whis had mentioned that, like, they were surprised that Topo was even still in the tournament. Then that was whenever Topo, on the verge of being destroyed, says, he just transforms into God of Destruction Topo. So maybe that's a thing with God of Destruction transformations, is that to I guess unlock it, like, do you have to be on the verge of being destroyed? Because that would be like sort of ironic. To be a God of Destruction, you have to almost be destroyed.
Two things on that. One, that's good on you to make that comparison, because when he was talking about he was getting stronger, I was thinking about the typical Saiyan, like Zenkai boost ordeal thing. I was thinking of that, but good on you with that. And with the destruction part, I don't want to necessarily say destroyed, because I guess if you're comparing it to like Tournament of Power stuff, remember at that point, Goku was only going into UI when he was getting his ass whooped. Like, he wasn't able to do it on his own. I guess Topo would, because literally his god angel said that's what they trained for. But I'm just thinking of that too, because like every time Goku went UI in there is when he was way past his limits. He should have been down. So maybe this is the similar thing, because I guess on the power scaling thing, I was almost thinking of this as like God of Destruction, like black haired, like comparing it to like black haired UI Omen. Like, this isn't like the final form of God of Destruction, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think there'll be more, like how Goku has black hair to silver hair. I think this is like Omen God of Destruction. That's what I think this is right now.
Good Lord, if there's something else after this.
I think there would, because Goku has, we learned in the beginning of this saga that there's multiple levels of MUI, and if we're going to continue this track of them being different, there probably is going to be multiple levels of destruction. And I think there is, because also remember when probably one of the best moments in the anime when Frieza broke out of that destruction ball. There is no way if that was Beerus's ball that Frieza would have broke out. So there has to be levels to this destruction power.
That makes pretty good sense. That's a pretty good point that you made.
So yeah, I mean, because with the people, I mean, we're Vegeta fans, but I don't think he's stronger than MUI Goku. I think if roles were reversed and MUI Goku saw what Granolah could do first, I think MUI Goku probably could have beat him unless Granola's still holding back, which he could. But no, man, this picture at the last page of Vegeta, I mean, this literally set the DB world in a frenzy because nobody knew if it was real or fake.
Like sent the world to flames. You know?
He was trending on Twitter, everything.
You know, yep, it did. And I was kind of surprised that the leak even came out, because I forget who it was. Who did I see had the original leak? I don't know if it was Geek or if it was Unreal or no.
No, it was that Dragonball Super Twitter. That's what
it was the Dragonball Super Twitter, which for anyone listening, it's an unofficial Dragonball Super Dragonball franchise Twitter page, and all they do is they retweet a lot of the community stuff. So shout out to them. They will retweet our podcast when we do about Dragon Ball, and a lot of artwork, a lot of discussions. They're just all about it. And they had retweeted that a popular or a not a popular, a proven or a trustworthy, I think it was a Naruto or what's the other series of Naruto, the current one?
Boruto.
Boruto. There was a person that does those leaks for them, and trustworthy, leaked this one. So not everyone was 100% sure if it was real. It looked pretty legit. So and then just before we know it, just all the signs were pointing that this was true. So I'm just surprised that there even was a leak. But I wonder if there will be any sort of leaks for the next chapter, especially since it comes 2 days early. Will they just keep it hush hush, and we'll have to wait and see.
I think the pushback with the leak also is because the leak was the transformation. Like, again, like if you weren't thinking like, where the hell did Vegeta get this transformation from? You would think it was some fan manga, but then like once it got confirmed, you're like, oh, I mean, it got the buzz up for the chapter, all right, because everyone's like, holy hell, Vegeta has a new transformation. And I know people are like, well, where the hell did this come from? Things like that. Do you remember this isn't the first time Vegeta pulled a transformation out of his butt that we didn't see? Remember, like, we didn't see him training with Whis when he like really got Super Saiyan God and Blue. We still don't even know how he got God per se, but he just showed up with the Frieza thing and went blue, and we were just, and Goku's like, yeah, he did it all by himself. Obviously,
pure grind is what it's like. Really, all right, whatever.
So I mean, it's the same thing. He got red and blue in that time period, and now he has this in the whatever time they had trained with Beerus. And then obviously, anime wise, Super, even though he had to have something to match Kaioken times 20 Super Saiyan Blue, Evolution was pulled too. Like that came out of nowhere. So it's not the first time, and I mean, the last time Vegeta's transformation was explained was Dragon Ball GT with the Blood Waves of how to get to Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah.
So this is wild, man, because I really thought Vegeta was going to get killed. Like I thought Goku was going to have to step back in, because I was like, there's no way baby Hakais are going to do anything against this guy, and he pulls out a transformation that completely healed himself, which is wild, and we're gonna see what he can do. And I honestly think Vegeta's going to get the upper hand, and finally, it's time for our boy Gas to show up.
What in the hell is Gas going to do?
He's going to do something. They're saving Gas. Like, he has something.
Dude, Gas is. I'm going to make a WWE reference here. Shout out to Jacob and you and Martin and everyone else. But this is like if you knew whoever had the briefcase for Money in the Bank, you knew that they were about to cash in right at the end of this fight between these two for the belt. But you knew that whenever that cash in comes, they were going to win. Like, there was no, okay, is Big E going to cash in and lose it? No. This is Big E's going to cash it, and he's going to win it.
No, that's a good point. It's just like my biggest concern with Gas, because we were actually, this was before we had our podcast, but we were the first to say it, that other people started picking on it. Tournament of Power, your man from Universe 4, who we were like, this dude is unafraid of nothing, and then turned out to be a dud. The little guy,
4 is pathetic.
You know who I'm talking about, that little guy, blue guy?
No, Rat Man, whatever his name is.
No, not Rat Man. He was the blue guy. He was blue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about the God of Destruction.
No. Little blue dude.
Oh, yeah. He did the illusion.
Yeah, because he wasn't like, Jiren was powering up, didn't move. Like, he never moved, and we were all like, dude, everyone watch out for this guy. Like, he might be freaking legit. Just look at the signs. And then it was the biggest dud.
That was the craziest. That was my craziest, like, hopeful theory that I think I've ever had, thinking that little runt from Universe 4 was going to F everyone up.
But he was showing it's the fact that they highlighted him and he was unafraid.
He was, and they didn't show him once. They didn't show him twice. They showed him on like 4 different occasions where he just thought he was king shit on Turd Island, and then they had the entire episode. I couldn't think that Jiren was like in Universe 11, like they were the only badasses, because at the time it was just them. Everyone else was just kind of scrubby. And then when Universe 3, whenever they showed up, they strong robots and all that crap. Okay, cool.
They had their 2
but yeah, it was God, goodness gracious. And then they had the one episode where all of Universe 4, except for like 2 people that got their ass kicked at the beginning of the Tournament of Power, that whole episode was about getting rid of Universe 4, and it was embarrassing.
That's what I thought of that. But no, man, this is coming out the 18th. I mean, the hypes are always real after the chapters, but again, you're ending it, especially in Dragon Ball, on a new transformation. So the hype is going to be super real. And to just connect to the next thing, Mitch, I honestly think they did this on purpose, because to talk about another topic, Comic-Con is this week, and the Dragon Ball movie panel is supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So I think they perfectly crafted this, that you end on a transformation. You have the panel coming. You have you're flying the Japanese voice actor of Goku to San Diego Comic-Con. So there has to be, you can't be, even during COVID, and she's not a spring chicken. So for you guys to be doing that, there has to be something big getting announced this weekend. Do you think we could get a trailer?
We have to get something.
Or for the anime. I don't want to say the anime coming back. That was supposed to come back like 3 years ago.
Either a trailer for the movie, and I remember the first trailer for when Broly came out, before we even knew that was Broly. Like, it was everyone very short. It just showed Goku just yeah, it didn't show much, but he was just out in the snowy mountains, and they had some close-up zooms of Broly just for you to speculate who it was. So we might get that, but I don't think we'll get both. I think we'll get one, either the movie or the anime.
2 things. One, remember back when we were like, is that Broly? And all the top tier YouTubers are like, no, you're an idiot. It's Yamoshi, blah, blah, blah. And then the real trailer happened. It was Broly. I was like, this is awkward because you guys all said it's not Broly. So this is hella awkward.
That was tough because that came out at the same time as with the panel with Toriyama, where he mentioned that the first Saiyan was named
Yamoshi.
It doesn't even matter. It's like, because I sit there and think that if it's not like actually like shown, like if it's not in an anime, if it's not in a manga, then when these journalists or interviewers ask Toriyama these questions, I think he just says shit to get people to shut up. Yeah. Because like whenever he sat down at that panel and then he gave 17 and 18 actual names, I don't think he gave a hot shit. Like he's just like, okay, I've been asked this question for 10 years. Screw it. Here's their names, whatever they are. And it's just.
No, I agree with you. And then my second thing is, what do you want? Do you want movie trailer or do you want Return of the Anime announcement this weekend?
Anime.
Because whatever when their panel, when their time is, the whole DB community is going to be on pins and needles.
I think I want an anime.
Anime?
Because the movie's going to come. We have that confirmation. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, I don't have a date. I don't have an exact date of when the movie is, but I know it's coming. Mm-hmm. Like, actually confirmed 100%. I know there's a movie coming. For the anime, though, I am like 99.9% sure that the anime is coming. I have no idea when, and I'm not 100% sure. So an anime would get me more hyped. But then the thing is, too, if they give us a date as to when the anime will kick back up, then that for me then might signal when the end of this arc would be. Mm-hmm. Because I would feel as though if they had two arcs ahead of the anime, then they could pace the anime with the manga better than what they did the first go around whenever the anime outpaced the manga. And then both of them had great ideas, but they kind of suffered for it.
So. Yeah, they were different. Now, would you rather want, because they're coming, they just released some new DLC. Would you rather want anime or the first trailer for Xenoverse 3?
Jesus criminy. Oh my God.
Because anything's possible with this one. They're bringing in, the fact that they're bringing in Goku makes it seem like anything is really possible.
Dude, that's a tough one. That's tough. Do I want anime or new Dragon Ball Xenoverse?
And they both get released, like they'll both give you the date.
Oh man.
Because 2 is releasing more DLC. They just unveiled they're doing Tournament of Power, as me and you call him, Jiren Red. He's coming out and Omen's coming out. So it's like they're still going, but Comic-Con would be a place. And you have the voice actor of Goku announce new game, end of 2021, Xenoverse 3.
I would say Xenoverse 3, and here's why. When the anime comes out, the anime is going to, kind of mirror the manga. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm basically just going to get the same story that we've read just on television, which will be sweet. Let's not take away from that. When Xenoverse comes out, though, that's a brand new story because they're going to incorporate a whole bunch of shit. We would see Moro in a video game and Granolah in the video game, the Heeters probably, and that would be sweet.
I mean, they can incorporate more things. They could actually do what we were thinking what's going to be in the next arc. You can have Universe 7 Heroes universe hopping. Like, you could be going to different universes exploring. Because I'm just sitting here and, like, I'm still looking at this picture of Vegeta. Man, what the hell is everyone else training right now? Because I know I sent the text with you, like, if Gogeta ever comes back, who is beating him?
And the only thing I can jokingly say is the people in Universe 1. Because remember, their mortal rating was ridiculously high.
Yeah, I'd love to see who's over there.
I mean, that's the thing. That's your average mortal. And I can't even remember how high that number was. It was like 12 or 13, and like Universe 7 was like at a 3 or 4.
Mhm.
So I mean, your top tier guys in Universe 1 have to be able to fuck people up, like, and those are the only people. But as for looking at the actual like established characters that we have, Whis is the only person in my eyes, or an Angel. An Angel is the only person that is beating who's winning in a fight against Gogeta or Vegeta right now.
MUI, God of Destruction, Force Spirit Fishing, Gogeta.
I mean, if you ever get that Gogeta or Vegeta in a video game, I wouldn't even waste my time with other characters or any other skill except getting that fusion off, because it has to. It would be like, it'd be like Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 against like Omega Shenron.
Mhm.
Like in terms of dominance, it would be just completely OP.
Some people said with the black hair, this is some random people like, oh, this is the start of potentially getting Super Saiyan 4
Snooze.
I don't think that's happening. I wouldn't.
What a snooze fest.
Yeah, even though that is my favorite transformation, I was like, I don't think this would. That's just a cop out because it's the black hair we're seeing. But I can't wait to see this picture colored out to actually see what it looks like.
What color do you think the flames will be? They have to be purple.
Yeah, I feel like purple. Yeah, because Super Saiyan was yellow. Super Saiyan 2
if
yellow.
It was like purple and blue, I think that would look good.
I think that'd be good too. I also find it funny how every time Vegeta gets like his own thing, like Super Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, like he gets like bigger in a sense. But this one he wasn't like big like Trunks, Ultra Trunks big, but I was just like, they stick to that with Vegeta, but no, man, it's good. Another debate that I've seen is, which form do you like of new Vegeta's forms do you like better so far? This one or the one he got in Dragon Ball Heroes?
Heroes. What are we calling that one? Super Saiyan Blue Berserker or something?
Yeah, with the blue and black and the lightning, and his eyes changed too. The same eye changes. He still has eyebrows, but like the same pupil thing that he has right now.
In terms of visuals, Berserker.
Yeah,
Berserker is just sweet. He has, and again, like going back, like he has his eyebrows. His eyes are still shaded. They got the blue and the black going on, and then his aura is the Super Saiyan Blue, but it's outlined. Vegeta's body is outlined in a black aura, and it's just sick. It's so good. I almost think that should have been the God of Destruction Vegeta form, his Hakai form, whatever we want to call it.
Me too, because it kind of matches his family thing. Because if you remember Super Saiyan Rage, it was like the yellow and like Trunks had like the blue inside him.
Yep.
So it kind of matched the family thing. But just to say a quick thing on Heroes, the picture of MUI Goku and Berserker Vegeta side by side, that's the top tier picture.
Dude, how in the hell? Okay, we don't talk about Heroes all too much.
You guys should be watching. It's only 10 minutes a month, and they got some good stuff going.
But that podcast would just last. And the thing is, the story doesn't even make sense. But
nope.
It's just a whole bunch of hot shit. It's whose line is it anyway? When points don't matter and everything's made up. But Goku Black is back, and he just turned Super Saiyan 3 Rose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how the hell does Super Saiyan 3 Rose have any chance against MUI and Berserker Vegeta?
Well, I mean, I don't know, but we did joke about like if Super Saiyan Blue, because that's technically Super Saiyan 1 with Super Saiyan God, really, if we were going to get upgrades to 2 and 3, and Goku Black said, well, I'm going to do it my way too. But it's like, I don't know, man, because I don't know how Super Saiyan Broly was beating Super Saiyan Blues.
It doesn't make sense.
But no, Heroes.
Well, remember though, Broly, Dragon Ball Z Broly in Heroes is fighting against. Is it Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta?
He was. I thought and then like there, and like
and then at the end. So even that power scaling makes no sense.
But I think with Heroes this past episode, it was very similar to like the Moro arc. Like those demons sent Goku and Vegeta to the Spirit of Time so that they can master their new powers and forms, and then they come back in their new powers and forms, and you're just like, this is kind of like what they did against Moro, and kind of what they're doing against Granolah. Like, I wonder if they're gonna have the side-by-side shot. That'd be a little, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm glad Cell's back. That's kind of what I alluded to earlier. Whenever Cell's going to be strong. Heroes has no problem bringing back weaklings, making them stupid strong for no reason. When you got Turles eating fruit from the tree of might still, competing against Super Saiyan Blue, it's whatever. But I mean, it makes for an interesting story. The one thing though about Heroes that I would want to mention though is that Goku Black says that he traveled across 100 different timelines and killed 100 different Gokus, learning all of Goku's techniques, his moves, trying to perfect his own understanding of Goku's body that he has. But he never came across one that had like Ultra Instinct.
I mean,
did he ever come across one that had Super Saiyan 4? Because they showed some flashes of what he did, and they were all Dragon Ball Z Gokus.
I mean, this might be controversial, but I'm going to go on record. I think he would have got smoked if he would have ran into Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
I think, it goes back to what's stronger, 4 or Blue. I think because I like it more, I'm going to say 4, but I don't have any numbers. I don't have any analytics for you.
But I guess in the point of time is like, it depends on when he's killing these Gokus. Is he showing up right before Krillin gets blown up by Frieza, then killing him there and leaving? Like, we don't know the exact times he's doing it.
Well, he at least had to kill a Super Saiyan 3 Goku, let alone he showed it. That's how he transformed into Rose. That
is true. That's true. So it has to be at least after Buu. And speaking of Buu, again with Vegeta's Berserk transformation, I love how he referenced like all that he's done and like him remembering like Goku versus Buu, because Goku was the catalyst. Like that was the final catalyst to push him into that transformation.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was good stuff. But man, it's this manga chapter and Comic-Con. This is a big week for Dragon Ball. I don't think it's had this big a week in like a long time, and with the potential movie announcement or anime coming back announcement, we're gonna be the first ones to throw it out there. Maybe video game announcement. Like this weekend, Dragon Ball is going to take over something of social media this weekend, one way or the other.
Yeah, it is. So keep your eyes open. There's going to be a lot that's coming up.
Mitch, anything else you want to talk about, man, before we sign up? We talked about Comic-Con, talked about the chapter, Vegeta's forms, Heroes, anything else?
Nope. Nothing that I can think of. That wraps up about everything for me. How about yourself?
No, I think that wraps up everything for me. It's just waiting for the weekend to see what we get.
Amen.
That's all it is. Just waiting to get that notification that, hey, we're getting a movie, we're getting the show back. And I hope we can get it simulcast. For those who don't know, that means you get it dubbed and subbed at the same time. So hopefully we can do that, because dub was way behind than the sub was. So hopefully we get that. That'd be real cool. And it'll bring the excitement back with the anime of everyone trying to watch it on Saiyan Army's Facebook. Shout out to him. I mean, they were real ones for posting them as soon as they came out, not even waiting for translations.
Yep.
But with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to L7C podcast. Thank you, Mitch, for being on. For the hardcore Dragon Ball fans, remember, as Mitch said earlier, August 18th is when we get the chapter. So we're going to get to see what Vegeta can do. And I already know how that chapter is going to be because everyone's going to try and power scale him to see where he stands after seeing some moves. And remember, Comic-Con is this weekend. They're bringing the All-Stars for the panel. They're not bringing the All-Stars to welcome in the scrubs. So there's going to be something big announced. So get ready for that. And with that being said, this is the L7C podcast. Signing out.
Have a good night.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.